By now, you understand that the ISM is risk based, governed, and designed to support whole of government security. You also understand that controls, mandatory requirements, and exceptions only work when someone is clearly accountable for them. This lecture aligns your understanding of roles directly with the Australian Cybersecurity Centre's guidance on cybersecurity roles. So you know exactly who is responsible for what under the ISM. The first role you need to understand is the accountable authority. If you are at the top of an Australian government entity, this role ultimately sits with you. The accountable authority is responsible for ensuring that cybersecurity risks are managed appropriately across the organization. This responsibility cannot be delegated away, even though tasks can be. As the accountable authority, you are not expected to understand technical configurations or operational details. What you are accountable for is outcomes. You ensure that governance structures exist, that cybersecurity risks are visible, that resources are available, and that risk acceptance decisions are made consciously. When the ISM talks about executive accountability, this is the role it is referring to. Closely connected to this role is the authorizing officer. This role is critical and often misunderstood. As an authorizing officer, you are responsible for deciding whether a system is safe enough to operate based on an understanding of its residual risks. You authorize systems for use, knowing that risk can never be eliminated entirely. This role embodies the ISM's risk based philosophy. You do not approve systems because they are perfect. You approve them because the remaining risks are understood, documented, and acceptable in the context of business need. When exceptions exist, it is the authorizing officer who formally accepts those risks. Next, you have the Chief Information Security Officer, or equivalent cybersecurity leadership role. If you operate in this role, you are responsible for providing expert leadership, oversight, and coordination of cybersecurity activities. You do not own organizational risk, but you ensure that it is identified, communicated, and managed effectively. As a CISO, your role is to translate threat intelligence, policy requirements, and technical realities into clear advice for executives and authorizing officers. You establish security strategies, frameworks, and assurance mechanisms. Under the ISM, you are a key enabler of informed decision making, not the final decision maker. Alongside the CISO, you often see the Chief Information Officer or Senior Technology Leader. This role is responsible for ensuring that technology platforms and services support security requirements. While the CIO may not own cyber risk acceptance, they are accountable for ensuring systems are designed, operated, and maintained in a way that enables ISM compliance. At the operational level, one of the most important roles is the system owner. If you are a system owner, you are responsible for the day-to-day security of a specific system throughout its lifecycle. This includes understanding the system's business criticality, ensuring appropriate controls are implemented, and maintaining security documentation. As a system owner, you are often the first person to identify when controls cannot be fully implemented. Your responsibility is not to hide that gap, but to raise it, document it, and escalate it for risk consideration. The ISM relies heavily on system owners being honest and proactive because they sit closest to operational reality. Supporting system owners are cybersecurity advisors and specialists. If you work in this role, your responsibility is to provide expert advice, design security controls, monitor systems, and support detection and response activities. You translate ISM controls into practical implementations and ensure they operate as intended. Importantly, under the ISM, cybersecurity specialists do not accept risk on behalf of the organization. Your role is to inform decisions, not make them silently. When risks exist, you surface them clearly so that authorizing officers and executives can act with full awareness. Another critical role defined in the ACSC guidance is the Cybersecurity Incident Manager. If you operate in this role, you are responsible for coordinating the response to cybersecurity incidents. This includes containment, communication, recovery coordination, and lessons learned. Incident management under the ISM is not improvised. It is planned, rehearsed, and governed. Your role ensures that incidents are handled consistently, transparently, and in a way that supports continuity of government services and public trust. Finally, you must understand the role of users. Under the ISM, users are not passive or irrelevant. If you are a user of government systems, you are responsible for behaving securely, completing training, following policies, and reporting suspicious activity. The ISM explicitly recognizes that people are both a strength and a vulnerability in cybersecurity. What makes this role model effective is how clearly it separates accountability from responsibility. Executives and accountable authorities are accountable for outcomes. Authorizing officers are accountable for risk acceptance. CISOs and advisors are responsible for guidance and oversight. System owners are responsible for implementation. Users are responsible for compliant behavior. You should also recognize that in smaller organizations, one person may hold multiple roles. The ISM allows this, but it does not allow confusion. Even if roles are combined, responsibilities must still be clearly understood and documented. Clarity matters more than structure. When you align roles this way, the ISM stops feeling like an IT framework and starts feeling like a governance model. Security decisions are made at the right level, informed by the right expertise, and executed by the right people. This alignment is exactly what the ACSC guidance is designed to achieve. The most important takeaway from this lecture is this: cybersecurity under the ISM succeeds when accountability is explicit and responsibility is shared. Tools, controls, and policies matter, but they only work when people understand their role in protecting government systems, services, and citizens.